Coinbase versus the SEC. This video has been long overdue, and it's time to revisit something we've talked about. We know it's going on, but I feel like a lot of people are forgetting about it, including myself for a couple weeks, because the market has just been ripping. We've got all the Bitcoin ETF news. Of course, many people focused on Ripple versus SEC, but admittedly, we kind of forget about what's going on with Coinbase versus the SEC and the particular cryptos that were mentioned as potential securities. And I wanted to kind of highlight everything we have right now and bring you up to speed on some of the news and information that is very pertinent in this case. We are hearing that we could be getting a decision soon, so I thought this video was very timely. And obviously, this is a big deal. I mean, this is going to have huge impacts on the overall market, huge implications in crypto. So this type of crypto news video is what you get here on this channel when you subscribe. So let's dive into this Coinbase versus SEC case. And right now, the big question is, what's going to happen in terms of the judge's decision? Will the judge dismiss the SEC's case against Coinbase? And if this happens, what will happen to the market? We're going to try to break this down from a couple different angles, couple different standpoints here, as this article came out last month, and some various experts have some different opinions on this. So the judge in this case could decide to dismiss the case brought by the SEC against Coinbase. This is coming from some experts, but other experts say that it's not likely, and they think the case will go on and be kind of dragged out a little bit longer. Experts have mixed feelings on what will happen here. Coinbase was sued by the SEC last year for allegedly operating as an unregistered exchange, broker, and clearing agency. The regulator also took issue with Coinbase's staking and wallet services. Coinbase has pushed back on the SEC's claims, arguing for the case to be dismissed and accusing the regulator of taking a regulation by enforcement approach. Kraken, another popular exchange in the United States, by the way, both are buttoned up legally here in the U.S., and they're kind of going off of what information they have at their disposal. They're also backing Coinbase in this case. Judge Falia could decide to dismiss the case, some experts say. Bloomberg Intelligence senior litigation analyst Elliot Stein put the chances of Coinbase beating the SEC at 70% in a post this past month in January. Going into the hearing, Stein said he thought Coinbase had a good chance of winning a dismissal regarding trading of assets on the platform, but less so in terms of the staking and wallet claims lodged by the agency. I agree with this, actually. I think the staking and wallet claims side of the issue doesn't look great for Coinbase because staking, there are a lot of things that are still kind of hanging in the balance, right? Now, a lot of the other things come back to the Howey test, and very similar to what happened with Ripple in that case. Because that side of the case went well for Ripple already, I think that's going to go well and bode well for Coinbase. I think that's the precedent set. But the whole staking thing, and that's a little bit different, right? Earning passive income. Because essentially you can put your money in Coinbase, at least you could back in the day. The rewards aren't as good, but still nice return on USDC. And if it's over 5% that you can make in the money market, that's going to hit home of regulators and things like that. So if that's all it is, by the way, I think that's super bullish for Coinbase. If that's the only thing they come after here is the whole staking side of it, that's an easy fix. Now, Dan Gambardello, fellow content creator of mine here on YouTube, had a really nice post here, and I want to highlight some of the things in case you missed it. Crypto charts could become very volatile, he's talking about, with this Coinbase versus SEC case. He thinks the decision could be very imminent any day now. This is one of the most historic moments for the crypto industry. Judge Falia grants Coinbase motion and completely dismisses the case. What this would mean if this happens. This is what we want, obviously, he says. If this happens, crypto will pump big time. I agree. And we're going to talk about which particular cryptos you might want to be looking at here in a second. So make sure you stick around for that. I think the altcoins specifically mentioned in the case, as he mentioned, ADA, Sol, etc., will see 50 to 150% gains in the days that follow, he said. That's insane. Judge approves the motion concerning the 13 tokens in question, but rejects it in terms of the staking service. This is what I think is likely to happen here. This is my opinion. He says not as big of a win, but still a big win, especially for the tokens in question. ADA, Sol, Matic, and some of the other tokens, which we'll highlight here. essentially in the clear, 50% gains in the days that follow, he thinks. The staking service question goes to discovery, and Coinbase eventually wins. Whatever happens with that, I think it's still going to be solid for the tokens. The whole staking service is kind of separate. Judge denies the Coinbase motion to dismiss, and it goes to discovery. What if this happened? A long process like the Ripple case. We'll see an initial shock of disappointment. He thinks altcoins will probably fall 10 to 20%, but generally markets will recover back to status quo in the days that follow. Most chatter we'll hear from that point on is that Coinbase will likely win the case in the long run. This is all my speculation, and really none of us know what will happen. However, I think it's clear that clear to most that the SEC is consistent. I can't speak today in making conflicting statements, and the law is not on their side. I'm hoping Judge Falia sees this as well. So interesting take here. I think it's a really good breakdown of what we'll see. Again, if you want my opinion, I think number 2 is probably most likely here. I think the tokens are going to be fine, but I think the staking service, there's going to be a pushback there. Now, what is this chart you're looking at here? These are where some of the tokens are right now. And this was a tweet by Fudsy. So shout out to this person over on X. Let's say Judge Polk dismisses the SEC case versus Coinbase. Is everyone ready and already positioned here? So what this chart is showing here, I'll just kind of go through it here. This is Filecoin, Flow, Chiliz, Near Protocol, Matic, Cardano, Axie Infinity, Dash, a couple of the big ones here, Solana, ICP, that were listed in the lawsuit. He believes that these will go parabolic, kind of insinuating that. So those are some of the cryptos to watch here, speaking to Gambardella's point and this point of maybe some volatility could be coming. Again, ICP, Solana, Cardano, Axie Infinity, Polygon Matic, Near Protocol, Chiliz, and Flow all could be some cryptos to watch. Now, this was another breakdown. What would happen for the SEC? A win for Coinbase could be seen as a challenge to the SEC's authority over crypto assets. And we've already seen a challenge over the SEC's authority over crypto. Bitcoin ETFs being approved. That was a challenge. They didn't want that. Ripple winning the first half of their lawsuit back in July last year against the SEC. That, again, is a big win. It could raise questions about the agency's interpretation of securities laws and its ability to regulate the industry effectively. And moreover it could basically cause new laws to be written and the Howey test to be thrown out the window because this is a whole new asset class. It is different. I think that's what needs to be done, in my opinion. And we might just be on a track to get that result. A setback for regulatory clarity. The lawsuit is seen as a key test for how the SEC will regulate crypto. A loss by the SEC could set back efforts, for Coinbase rather, could set back efforts to provide clear and consistent regulatory frameworks for the industry. No doubt about it. Increased pressure for legislative action. If the SEC is unable to clarify its authority through the courts, it could increase pressure for Congress to pass specific legislation governing crypto assets. Now, how about for the crypto industry on this side of it? A win for Coinbase could boost investor confidence in the crypto industry and encourage further mainstream adoption, no doubt. We're already seeing adoption happen. Imagine what happens there with altcoins if and when this happens. Regulatory clarity could pave the way for more innovation in the crypto space, as companies are less likely to be constrained by uncertainty. No question about it. There are a ton of companies out there, or a ton of brilliant minds out there waiting in order to go all in on blockchain until some of this stuff is sorted out. I know personally people that are in that boat that want to go heavy into blockchain industry that are waiting for more regulatory clarity to know the do's and don'ts. So there's no doubt there's a ton of people on the sideline waiting for that. Even if Coinbase wins, it says it's not a guarantee that the SEC will abandon its efforts to regulate crypto. However, it could lead to changes in the SEC's approach, potentially focusing on specific areas or types of assets, which I think would be good because it would provide more clarity. And maybe they would just go after specific areas like staking, for example, and attack that rather than various protocols. It would open the door for, again, more innovation and more insight and intel into what's allowed and what's not. So this lawsuit, it says, is just one piece of a larger debate about how to regulate crypto. Other regulatory bodies around the world are also grappling with this issue. The outcome of this lawsuit could also have implications for crypto companies facing regulatory scrutiny. Even if Coinbase wins, it's possible the SEC could appeal the decision or pursue other legal challenges against the company. We'll see what happens, guys. But that is kind of where we are right now. I know this is a little bit longer of a video, but I wanted to kind of highlight everything that's going on right now, bring you up to speed. If you got some value, let me know by hitting the like button, subscribing down below. Don't miss out on any more of this content, breaking news out here in the crypto industry. And we'll be tracking Coinbase versus SEC very, very closely here in the coming days and weeks and months to see what's next for essentially the entire altcoin market. Appreciate you guys. Take care.